Come on and shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. Join award-winning host Dale Davidson as he interviews the most remarkable people you'll find in the entertainment capital of the world. You'll meet entertainers, sports figures, newsmakers, community and business leaders, and people just like you with stories that'll touch your heart. Now, here's Dale Davidson.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. As you know, if you're a regular viewer, each and every episode we bring you a fascinating guest, mostly people from Las Vegas, although we do have celebrities who come into town that we interview from time to time. We do have a native, well, maybe not a native Las Vegan, a Las Vegan who lives here and is a fantastic author and has a terrific ministry right here in Las Vegas. We're very pleased to introduce to you Leon Stevens. Leon, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we so appreciate your stopping by.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting for me to be able to talk to folks out there.
It's exciting for me too, and I do it every week. That's great fun. Thank you for coming. Let's first of all familiarize our audience with Leon Stevens. How long have you been here in Las Vegas?
We've been here for first time we moved here was in 1993.
Okay.
And we moved here because of my wife's health.
Ah.
Then our kids gave us twins in 2003, I believe it was. So
Grandkids are the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
absolutely.
gosh. I got 8 of them.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
It's so great.
Yeah, we've got 4. But in 2003, they gave us twins.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, we're going to move back to California. And then we actually forgot why we moved here to begin, but she started getting sick again.
Oh,
So
okay.
in 2003 we moved back.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we've been here since then.
Oh, okay. And you like it here?
We love it
And
here.
you have a nice church here.
Oh, absolutely.
I know that.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
an amazing Southern Hills Baptist Church. It's just outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
A lot of people don't know that, who watch us all over the world, all over the country and all over the world, that Las Vegas is one of the most churched communities in the country.
I know, and that's so amazing when you look at the reputation of Las Vegas.
Yeah, Sin City. Right.
But then that's why we're here.
Yeah.
As a counterbalance.
Yeah.
Is the way I look at it.
Yeah, it's a great mission field.
Absolutely.
The mission field comes to you. As we mentioned before we rolled tape, 42 million visitors every year come here, and we have the opportunity to touch them on television or through the church or with tracks on the strip or whatever. We find a way to reach people. And it's a wonderful place for that reason.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, this is where this is where it all started for me.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Here in Las Vegas. Yes.
Yeah. Let's get to your book in a second. Tell me where you grew up and tell me a little bit about your background.
Okay, I grew up in Sacramento, California.
Okay.
And
nice community.
Oh, beautiful.
A lot of trees.
Oh, yeah. Something that don't have too much here.
Yeah.
So, but it's a beautiful place up there.
Yeah.
And I joined the Air Force in 1965.
Okay.
And from there, I was stationed in Vandenberg, Lompoc, Santa Maria area.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And so that's settled in that area after I got out.
Uh-huh. And that's also a beautiful part of California.
It is.
Yeah.
And then migrated down to Santa Barbara, Goleta area.
Okay.
Where I met my wife. And
that was a good day.
That was a perfect day.
She's here watching.
Yes, and it.
Sandy.
The journey that I've had since we moved here, since we've been married, has been a real rocky road, to say the least.
Tell us a little bit about that.
For the first 33 years of our marriage, Sandy tried to get me to go to church, and I didn't want anything to do with it. I would go, and she'd get upset because I'd be complaining about it.
Yes.
So she'd decide, okay, you're not going anymore.
You're ruining it for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then it was in 2009 that we moved areas, one part of town, so she was away from her church.
Oh, okay.
And she says, Leon, I got to find me a church. I said, okay, I'll go with you. No, you're not. He said, unless you go for yourself.
Yes.
And I said, I believe I am.
Yeah.
That I really want to find a church with you. So we went to 6 different churches and find nothing at all.
Yeah.
And she's getting very frustrated.
Right, right.
And she was actually getting frustrated with the Lord, saying,
Why haven't you found us a church yet?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So her saying that, it was so amazing because we got home after the last time church, and we found a tract on our gate. And she said, "What is that?" I said, "Something from a church." "What church?" I said, "Southern Hills Baptist Church." She said, "Baptist?" She said, "So we'll give it a try."
Yeah.
You know, well, as soon as I walked in the doors, I felt so welcome,
Yes.
so warm. The feeling came over me of comfort that
That's
I knew
nice.
I was home.
Yes.
And then 3 weeks later, which would have been August 18th, 2009, I accepted Christ as my Savior.
Isn't that remarkable? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And my life changed from that point on.
Yeah, and I too came to Christ fairly late in my life, and it really does change everything, doesn't it? The way you look at things, the way you relate to your Creator, the way you relate to other people, the way you talk, everything about it.
Oh,
doesn't it?
absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, the Bible tells you that you become a new creature.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely true. It's not you just have a change of mind or a change of heart. You
Yeah.
become a new being.
Yeah, you do.
You
yeah.
know, so
That's
and I
wonderful.
Have, you know.
And now you've written a book,
Yes.
which is a terrific book, by the way. I'm going to hold this up so everybody recognizes it when they go to buy it. It's called One Nation Under God, A Factual History of America's Religious Heritage by Leon G. Stevens. Mr. Stevens is our guest, and we'll hold that up so everybody recognizes it. And tell me about this. How did this come about?
This also has a part of a journey. Is that we were new to the church,
Right,
and they had at that time different fellowship groups,
right.
and we were in a older senior group.
Uh-huh.
It was called the Joy Fellowship.
Okay.
Joy meaning just over youth.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of
That's
a fun,
cute.
That's kind of a fun thing.
That's cute.
And so we always had a devotional to begin the fellowship time. So our first time we go, a great time. And then Sandy, she loves people, very
Right.
social person. So she decided to volunteer our home for the next month.
Oh, okay.
And so we did that. And then she, oh, by the way, you have to give a devotional. And what?
What do I have to
What do I
do?
do? And she said, something biblical. And I said, what do I do? Well, at that time, I was writing a book about the Civil War.
Oh, okay.
And it was a novel.
Yeah.
And she said, why don't you just talk about how God worked in the Civil War? And I said, well, that's an idea. But then we're driving along, and then it hit me on the way home that President Obama at that time said, we are not a Christian nation.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what set this off.
Yeah.
Is that I created my devotion around that to prove the president wrong. And that turned into a blog, which went nowhere. Then, and I never put stock into dreams, but this time I had a dream
Yeah.
that I was giving my devotion a faceless audience.
Right.
And what could a faceless audience be? A book, of course.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So then
yeah.
I sat down to write the book. I'm writing it, I'm working full time. I was an assistant controller of the corporation
Okay.
and working full time. And 17 months into it, I'm getting very frustrated. And I said, Lord, help me get this done.
Because you knew he had called you to do this.
Exactly. Yeah, I had because when I
And you didn't have time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
sure.
Well, he gave me the time because I was called into the office of the vice president. Said, Leon, we have to lay you off.
Right.
And so that means no job.
Right.
But my first reaction, and I blurted it out, I said, thank God I can finish my book.
That's great.
And Jim, he was so nervous anyway about
Because he didn't want to do it, of course. Yeah.
So he was, oh, thank you, Leon, And so he felt really good about that.
Yeah.
So we left on real good terms.
Yes.
So I'm working for 5 months now, full time.
Right.
No money coming in. Sandy's getting really anxious. I said, honey, it's fine.
Natural. That's natural. Yeah.
It's fine. Well, I finished after 5 months. I sit back and think, oh, it's done. The next day, I get an email from the owner of the company and said, Leon, can you come back with a promotion and a raise?
Well, okay.
Yeah, I gave that about 10-second thought,
If you insist.
If you insist,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And I ended up retiring from that company.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And finished the.
What a God thing that is.
Oh,
huh?
absolutely.
Yeah, that's just a wonderful way that God can work in your life to make something happen if you're obedient and you listen to his call.
Absolutely
You
true.
know?
Absolutely
It's
true.
just phenomenal. Leon, that's been fascinating. We need to take a brief break. We have 3 more segments, I'm pleased to say. We're going to come back and dive right into One Nation Under God by Leon Stevens, and we're going to talk specifically about founding fathers and other major American figures in politics and religion who created our nation. So we'll be back with Leon Stevens right after this. Hello, I'm Dale Davidson. I hope you're enjoying Las Vegas tonight. The guests we've had on the program are wonderful examples of Christians who take seriously Christ's command to love one another. In addition to the hundreds of television stations across the United States now carrying our show, we have been presented with the outstanding opportunity to bring these inspiring stories to people around the world. An international satellite network in the Russian and Ukrainian languages has asked us to provide them with episodes to be broadcast to millions. To make a gift to support this very special effort, please send your check or money order to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To use your credit or debit card, call 702-480-3989. Thank you, and God bless you.
Drawn by the lights, glamour, and opportunities in Sin City, they come from all over the world, searching for their chance to be a pretty woman, a success, or maybe just to have a better life. Be somebody. What happened after they got here is literally changing the world. From the story of Tommy Scott, a former gang enforcer turned Christian evangelist, to the Hookers for Jesus Outreach Ministry, to the heart-wrenching story of Arturo Martinez and his heroic act of forgiving the man who assaulted and murdered his wife and 10-year-old daughter. Las Vegas Tonight presents an extraordinary depiction of Las Vegas as a city of transformation, from Sin City to Vegas Saints. Las Vegas Tonight, from Sin City to Vegas Saints, a collection of true stories of transformation, people whose lives were transformed, and people who are now transforming the world.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. Our guest, Leon Stevens, who is the author of One Nation Under God. I'm going to keep holding this up, Leon, so people know what it looks like. And he and I were speaking during the break, and I had mentioned that I had come to Christ in my 40s, and you came to Christ even a little bit later. And you have a fascinating story. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. I came to Christ when I was 63 years old.
63. See, there's hope.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is what I try to tell people. You know, that it's never too late.
Yeah.
Age is not a factor. Well, we went to California to our daughter's wedding, and on the way back we stopped at a church, and they had a welcoming hall there. And the gentleman comes up to welcome us. He's in maybe late 20s, early 30s, I think. And for some reason, I needed to tell him about my journey, about being 63 and da-da-da-da, and tears came to his eyes. And he said, now I know there's hope for my father.
Wow, that's great.
And that I knew then that the Lord had me tell him that.
Oh, yeah.
To get that encouragement out there.
Oh, that's great.
So it's just, this is part of what I do.
That's wonderful. That's a great story. It's not one you hear very often.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's really nice to hear. And so, folks, it's never too late.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's dive right into the book, which is a fascinating study of the Christian heritage of the United States of America. And let's leap right into the Great Awakening and Jonathan Edwards. Many of us who are Christians, as we study our own history, know about the Great Awakening. Probably some of our viewers don't. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Great Awakening actually was started in the mid 1700s in Europe and the British colonies.
Right.
It was on both sides of the road, and you had these circuit riders coming along. Jonathan Edwards was more of a pulpit preacher.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And I love his story because he was so passionate in his preaching, but also he was also speaking in monotone.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
And he would get up there, and when the Holy Spirit started taking over, he would just look straight ahead and start his preaching like this. And the people, they would sit back in the pews with their hands like this, like white knuckles.
Right.
Like maybe the floor is going to fall open and they're going to go to hell type of thing. That's the effect that he had over people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. And he, as you said, he spoke in a monotone, didn't believe in histrionics of any kind, but his sermon, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, is famous for turning people away from their destination of hell and into the arms of Christ just by his words alone. Because it obviously was not his charisma.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. One thing you said here that I made a note of that really made an awful lot of sense to me because it set the stage for American Christianity in this sense. You wrote, "The Great Awakening promoted religious pluralism. As the road to salvation was open to everyone through personal conversion, doctrinal differences among the Protestant denominations became less important." That's why our nation has so many denominations and so much religious freedom.
Exactly.
Because the state's not involved. The government is not involved.
That's exactly right. I mean, this is what the Founding Fathers felt was so important to do that, because they were coming from a country where it was almost a theocracy.
Yes.
Where the church actually ruled the government.
Yes. Yeah.
And the government decided what religion, so they worked hand in hand. So when the Puritans came over, they said, okay, we're coming here for religious freedom.
Right.
And as things evolved, more and more people coming from Europe, especially England, to come for that very reason. They came here not for the money, not for the...
That's why the Pilgrims came, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For religious freedom.
Yes.
And it just grew from that.
Yeah.
And as time went on, more and more people were coming, and less Christians were coming.
Yeah.
So the society in general was drifting away from God. And that's what prompted the first Great Awakening in the 1730s.
Yeah, which swept the colonies.
Absolutely did.
Yeah. Let's set something right that people just don't understand about Thomas Jefferson. Okay. Often, over and over and over again, you hear about the separation of church and state. And there is a wall between church and state. And that has come to mean in today's judicial world, you can't have the 10 Commandments on the lawn of the courthouse. You can't have, in front of the courthouse or any government building, you can't have a creche during Christmas. But that isn't what he meant at all, was it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Tell us about Jefferson and what kind of a Christian he was.
Okay. I love Thomas Jefferson, mainly because he was a person, he didn't want to really let other people know that he was a Christian.
Yeah.
Because his comment to some of his friends was, I'm a Christian, but that's between me and God.
Yeah. And
he complained to his friend Benjamin Rush in a letter that he said, I don't understand why people don't realize that I'm a Christian. They're saying that I am not, when in fact I am, and it bothered him.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't one to share his views.
Yes.
But you think that we're demonizing him now? He was being demonized even back then in his own time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so...
But he said over and over again in letters that, it was all about Christ.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't a deist,
Nope.
really, as today's theologians posit.
Right.
He didn't believe that God just set it all in motion and went away never to be seen again.
Right.
He believed in Christ, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
And one of the problems that he was faced with is what he did.
Yeah.
They call it the Jefferson Bible.
Right.
Where and people have been critical of this, that he took the Bible And he, in our terms today, cut and paste.
Right.
He would take out a lot of the miracles, all of this stuff, and presented a Bible. But the Bible, the actual name of the Bible, was the life and teachings of Jesus of Nazareth. That
Right.
was the name of the Jefferson Bible.
Right, right.
And his purpose for creating that was to educate and Christianize the Indians of that time.
Right, right.
So he wanted to go out and teach, and he used that book to teach them.
Yeah, and he sent U.S. funds to do that, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah. Let's talk about the founding father, if you will, George Washington.
Yes.
He was quite a Christian himself, quite a believer himself. Wasn't
Absolutely.
He? Yeah. Tell us about him.
Okay, Washington, he was not afraid to mention his religion.
Yeah.
And in his inaugural address, he mentioned God, mentioned Christ. He gave orders to the troops about prayer, about Christianity.
Right.
His officers, he wanted to make sure we're Christian officers.
Right.
Now, why would a non-Christian want to do that?
Yeah.
In his farewell address, again, he addressed Christ. He addressed the author of our faith.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that was his terms, the author of our faith.
Yes.
So Washington's very passionate about his religion. You've seen paintings of him praying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
There's a famous painting where
Yeah.
he's kneeling in the snow at Valley
Right.
Forge with his
Exactly.
horse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And his critics and mine say, well, that's bogus, but they just painted that to make him look that way because there was no witnesses to that.
Right.
Well, that's not true. There were many witnesses to that. And some, I have a hard time pronouncing his name, Turquet,
Yeah.
from France.
Okay.
He actually witnessed that.
Wow.
And he wrote about Washington praying in the
Right.
snow.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, it's a fact.
Yeah.
And so the detractors cannot say he was not a Christian.
Yeah.
You know, so
Let's talk about another one who is often described as being a non-Christian, and that's Ben Franklin. Tell us about Ben and what was he really like?
Well, I think.
He was kind of a rascal, though,
Oh,
wasn't
he
he?
definitely was.
Yeah,
He's been
yeah.
accused of being a womanizer.
Oh well, that's the first guy that's ever done that.
Oh yeah, but I think there may be some validity to that.
Yeah, yeah,
He was, I believe, he believed in Christ,
Yes.
but he didn't practice religion.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
And it was Franklin that is completely responsible for the prayer before the opening of Congress.
that was all his idea.
That was his idea.
Wow,
Because
wow.
it was during the Continental Congress, they're trying to come up with what's what, and they were fighting with each other.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he
And-
said, I therefore beg leave to move that henceforth prayers imploring the assistance of heaven and its blessings on our deliberations be held in this assembly every morning.
Amen.
Now, if he didn't believe, why would he do that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah. That makes all the sense in the world.
And if you look at the record, and this is documented, you know, it was right after that things started to fall into place.
yeah.
They
yeah,
finally came to agreement on virtually everything.
Yes.
And it smoothed things out. That one prayer
Wow.
started it out, and then they made sure they prayed every time. And that still continues today.
That's always a good way to start any meeting anytime.
Oh, absolutely.
It really is. It does have a tendency to bring people together,
Yep.
even non-believers.
Exactly.
Which is amazing. When we come back, we're going to take another brief break, but when we come back, I want to ask you about a famous building in Washington, D.C. that served a dual purpose, and one of them was a church. Okay. So we're going to come back and we're going to find out what that building was right after these messages.
Potential audience of more than 50 million people is reached every week by Las Vegas Tonight. To keep the important message of Christ's love on the air, we need your prayers and financial blessings. Please send your tax-deductible gift to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. For a donation of $25 or more, we'll send you a copy of Dale Davidson's new book, Las Vegas Tonight, From Sin City to Vegas Saints. You'll love these inspiring stories of Las Vegas Christians who are changing the world. Or donate to the ministry, or order Dale's book by going to vegassaints.org. That's vegassaints.org. or call us today at 702-480-3989. That's 480-3989. God bless you.
Hello, I'm Dale Davidson. I hope you're enjoying Las Vegas tonight. The guests we've had on the program are wonderful examples of Christians who take seriously Christ's command to love one another. In addition to the hundreds of television stations across the United States now carrying our show, we have been presented with the outstanding opportunity to bring these inspiring stories to people around the world. An international satellite network in the Russian and Ukrainian languages has asked us to provide them with episodes to be broadcast to millions. To make a gift to support this very special effort, please send your check or money order to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To use your credit or debit card, call 702-480-3989. Thank you, and God bless you.
Drawn by the lights, glamour, and opportunities in Sin City, they come from all over the world, searching for their chance to be a pretty woman, a success, or maybe just to have a better life. Be somebody. What happened after they got here is literally changing the world. From the story of Tommy Scott, a former gang enforcer turned Christian evangelist, to the Hookers for Jesus Outreach Ministry, to the heart-wrenching story of Arturo Martinez and his heroic act of forgiving the man who assaulted and murdered his wife and 10-year-old daughter. Las Vegas Tonight presents an extraordinary depiction of Las Vegas as a city of transformation, from Sin City to Vegas Saints. Las Vegas Tonight, from Sin City to Vegas Saints, a collection of true stories of transformation, people whose lives were transformed, and people who are now transforming the world.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. We're very pleased to have with us, as we've mentioned the last couple of segments, Leon Stevens, who's the author of this terrific book called One Nation Under God. That's easy enough to remember. We hope you'll buy the book, and we hope that students will read this book in elementary school, in high school, in college and seminary even.
Absolutely.
This really fills people in on what the truth is about America as a Christian nation. Let's talk a little bit about Andy Jackson, who was converted. He was converted to Christianity, and tell us how that came about.
Jackson was, actually, I think he was like a fun guy.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like he was a rascal.
Yeah, he was. He'd have parties in the White House.
Yep.
And but at some point in his presidency, God touched him.
Yes.
And he was able to take that and strengthen his presidency, because I think without his conversion, it could have been a disaster.
Yeah.
Especially after the War of 1812 in that area.
Yes.
It's just his.
There was uncertainty. There was a lot of division going on.
Yeah.
And yet he was able to unite the nation.
Exactly.
Mostly through his faith.
That's right.
Alexis de Tocqueville, and he gives us a really good reason to believe in the Christian foundation of America, because he was a Frenchman. Yes. And he was independent, if you will. He was a scholar. He was a writer. He was quite the interviewer. Oh, yeah. I admire his skills as an interviewer. And he came to the United States. He came to the colonies at first, I guess, and then went and learned a lot about the American people and what makes them tick. And religion was really at the top of the list for him, wasn't it? And what he discovered.
Absolutely. I think that's what really amazed him. He was not expecting to see that.
Yeah.
And how the religion and lifestyles and the government were working together and made the strength of this nation what it was because of that.
Yeah.
And because of the theocracies in Europe, he wanted to take this information back so he could possibly influence his own country.
I see. I see. Yeah. And he came right out and said it. He said, the Americans combine the notion of Christianity and of liberty so intimately in their minds that it is impossible to conceive the one without the other.
That's true.
Yeah, so he saw that indeed was, what made America tick. Let's talk about one of our most famous presidents, one of our most beloved presidents, and that's Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president. There are those who say Abe Lincoln was not religious. He was not a Christian. Why don't you debunk that? Because you certainly do in the book.
These are the people who don't know Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
These are the people who have never read about him. They have never read his writings.
Yeah.
They didn't read, really, the Gettysburg Address.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything with Lincoln was with God. Mm-hmm. He got up in the mornings with his Bible and prayer. He'd go to bed with his Bible and prayer. And his whole life was centered, his family life was centered around the Bible. And he wanted to make sure that his government was Christ-centered as well.
Yeah, yeah. What's amazing about him is, I think, he started to learn how to read in a frontier, part of America at the time by reading the Bible. And like many people of that era, it was just second nature. That might be the only book that they ever read, but they read it regularly.
Well, sure. But go back in the founding of our country prior to that.
Yeah.
That was the only book that the people had to read, so that's how they taught their children, was reading the Bible.
Sure, sure. Let's talk a little bit about more modern times and whether this initial foundation laid by Christians, both ministers and preachers and politicians, whether that carried through and whether we indeed still are a Christian nation. One of my favorite presidents, and I had the honor of working for him, is Ronald Reagan. Tell us about President Reagan and his faith life.
Oh, President Reagan was no doubt, in my mind, was a very strong Christian.
Yeah.
He, again, has shown the world what Christianity should be and how the country can work in a Christian world. Mm-hmm. He was very faithful in that respect. And he has made comments that you cannot live without the Bible. You cannot function as a government without the guidance of the Bible. He was a very strong believer in that, even though critics are saying that, well, he really doesn't mean that because he's going senile and this, that, and the other thing.
People will make anything up.
Of course.
To debunk Christianity.
Exactly.
That's crazy,
exactly.
by the way.
But this is why I believe that even though what we're seeing today is the secularization of this country.
Oh, yeah, clearly, yeah.
But we still have the foundation of Christianity here that started in our founding.
Yeah.
And if you have Christ as your foundation, then nothing else is going to be able to topple that.
That's right.
You're going to have some rough times, which you're having now.
Sure.
But we're also in line for a new revival coming up.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely,
yes.
Oh,
boy, I really hope you're
yeah,
right. I look forward to that.
I believe that because after writing this book, I've been led to other areas and of ministry, and I can see it. You take October 1st.
Sure. Where we had a tragedy here in Las Vegas. I'm sure our viewers know about 58 people were killed by a shooter, a sniper, and 500 or so were wounded.
Right.
It was the worst mass shooting in American history.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And what I saw there was the outpouring of love and compassion. It brought people together instead of dividing them. If you didn't have a Christian base, that would have been so divisive that we could not have functioned. But because of the Christian nature of people here, they brought together. You have a memorial that is going to be living on forever, from these people. And what I see is when evil happens, the righteous come together. And this is what happened then.
And education is a huge part of this.
Absolutely it is.
You have a section in your book about educating people regarding Christianity, and I know that's part of your ministry, and we'll get to that in our last segment, talking about your specific ministry. But tell us about the education process and how you think we can turn this ignorance around.
Okay, it started out in this country, like I said before, the only way that the children could learn to read was from the Bible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The various presidents throughout our history has given money to the Bible industry.
Yes.
You know, the American Bible Society.
Right,
Things
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, the government funded that.
Yes.
Then in the 60s is when it turned around.
Yes.
You got the education people, you got prayer in school.
Right.
Up until that point. You've got
The Ten Commandments were posted in all the classrooms.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, it's all there.
Yeah.
And up in the 60s is when things changed, and the Supreme Court decided to rule against that.
Yes.
You know, so now you're
And the
taking
erroneous belief that Jefferson said
Yeah,
there was a
exactly,
as
the
we talked
separation
about in the
church and
first
state.
segment.
Yeah. And because of that, Earl Warren was really, in my mind, the villain in this whole thing.
He was Chief Justice during that time. Yeah.
Supreme Court, an extreme liberal, and he saw to it that his agenda was met in pulling God out of the schools.
Right.
But he started that.
Yes.
And as a result of that, you can see, look at our society today.
Yeah,
It's a direct
yeah.
result of taking God out of the classroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can get back to, and we're starting to get back to it. I've seen just news things on Facebook last few months that, like, I believe it's Kentucky now, that is allowing the Bibles to be taught in school.
Yes, I saw that.
There's
yeah.
two more states that have taken
Yeah,
that up too.
Yeah.
This to me
And Bible clubs all over the country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this to me is so encouraging
Sure.
for our future.
Sure.
You know, because you've got to have that foundation.
Oh yeah.
Like I said before, you've got the foundation. It's not going to be shaken.
Yes.
You know, you can only build back on it. You know, and that's what we're doing. That's what's so exciting about what I see in our future.
And leadership is such an important part of that.
But now,
If you look at a couple of recent presidents, and we'll talk about that even more in the next segment, but George W. Bush, for example. I remember laughing when somebody was on television on one of the mainstream media, you know, one of the alphabet networks, and they were saying, well, it appears that the evangelicals have some influence over President Bush. And I'm thinking, you got it totally wrong. He is one.
exactly.
You know, and when he converted to Christ, and that was later in his life as well,
true.
because he had a problem with alcohol and some other issues, Christ became a central part of his life, and his administration was full of Christians.
That's right.
And as is going on now in the Trump administration, there were regular Bible studies in the White House.
Yep.
Yeah, which is truly amazing. We're going to talk about President Trump. We're not going to let you get away until we talk about the current president. But we need to take a brief break. We'll be back with Leon Stevens, who is the author of One Nation Under God, right after this.
Potential audience of more than 50 million people is reached every week by Las Vegas Tonight. To keep the important message of Christ's love on the air, we need your prayers and financial blessings. Please send your tax-deductible gift to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. For a donation of $25 or more, we'll send you a copy of Dale Davidson's new book, Las Vegas Tonight, From Sin City to Vegas Saints. You'll love these inspiring stories of Las Vegas Christians who are changing the world. Or donate to the ministry, or order Dale's book by going to vegassaints.org. That's vegassaints.org. Or call us today at 702-480-3989. That's 480-3989. God bless you.
Hello, I'm Dale Davidson. I hope you're enjoying Las Vegas Tonight. The guests we've had on the program are wonderful examples of Christians who take seriously Christ's command to love one another. In addition to the hundreds of television stations across the United States now carrying our show, we have been presented with the outstanding opportunity to bring these inspiring stories to people around the world. An international satellite network in the Russian and Ukrainian languages has asked us to provide them with episodes to be broadcast to millions. To make a gift to support this very special effort, please send your check or money order to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To use your credit or debit card, call 702-480-3989. Thank you, and God bless you.
Drawn by the lights, glamour, and opportunities in Sin City, they come from all over the world, searching for their chance to be a pretty woman, a success, or maybe just to have a better life. Be somebody. What happened after they got here is literally changing the world. From the story of Tommy Scott, a former gang enforcer turned Christian evangelist, to the Hookers for Jesus Outreach Ministry, to the heart-wrenching story of Arturo Martinez and his heroic act of forgiving the man who assaulted and murdered his wife and 10-year-old daughter. Las Vegas Tonight presents an extraordinary depiction of Las Vegas as a city of transformation, from Sin City to Vegas Saints. Las Vegas Tonight, from Sin City to Vegas Saints, a collection of true stories of transformation, people whose lives were transformed, and people who are now transforming the world.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. We've been talking with Leon Stevens, who wrote this terrific book. It is called One Nation Under God, A Factual History of America's Religious Heritage. And I think he's made the case. Let's talk about our current president. Is the jury out on President Trump's Christianity, or what do you think? What do you think? Is he a Christian?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
There's no doubt in my mind that he is.
Yeah.
You know,
What do you base that on, Leon?
Well, I base it on two things. One, in fact, he says that he is.
Yeah.
Okay. It cracks me up because he was criticized early on during the campaign when he was going to quote from 2 Corinthians.
Right,
and he says 2 Corinthians.
A lot of people say 2
Of course they do,
Corinthians.
but they made a big deal out of it. He can't be a Christian because he doesn't even know the name of the book. That was some of the things going around. It's insane.
Anything to prove the guy wrong.
Exactly.
You know.
But also, too, I know firsthand that, I say firsthand through my chaplaincy,
Right.
that he went to a church, well, he visited Las Vegas. He went to a church that a bunch of my chaplains go to.
I know. I saw the picture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they did hands-on prayer with Trump.
Yeah.
At his request, I might add. And he's done that twice on his visits here.
Yeah. And he came back to that church without announcing he was going to be there.
Exactly.
And just sat there to listen
That's right.
and pay attention.
And what president is going to do that?
Yeah.
Unless he is a true Christian.
Yeah.
A true believer, he doesn't need the fanfare.
No.
He doesn't need the press.
No.
All he needs is God.
Yeah.
And he's got God.
Yeah.
And God has given him the courage to speak the way he does. He's not a politician.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what this country needs right now.
Yes.
They need a strong leader who is a Christian leader who doesn't care what people think.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what's driving people crazy, even his own party, because they can't control him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
God
there's
is controlling him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
Yeah. And there's an argument for him receiving divine intervention in the sense that there's no other way the guy could have become president.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
And he's Cyrus in a way, right? You know, because he is turning to Israel. You know, he's turning his face to Israel, and freeing them and supporting them the way Cyrus did. You know, as obviously a non-Jew and a non-Christian.
Yeah.
You know, so one way or the other. He's doing what the Lord wants him to
Absolutely.
do, don't you think?
And this is what I love about Trump, is the courage that it took to say, I'm moving our embassy to Jerusalem
Right.
against world opinion.
Right.
I mean,
And
that,
everybody's advice.
yeah,
Except the Lord's.
exactly. Even
Yeah.
his own people were against
Yeah.
that, you
Yeah.
know. So he, like you said, he's listening to the Lord.
Yeah.
And
And,
he's
he has
doing-
to know that whoever blesses Israel will be blessed.
Of course.
You know,
I mean,
that's the way that works.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah.
and in the past, our presidents, they do a lot of lip service for that.
Yeah.
This guy takes action,
He does.
you know.
Yeah. God bless him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Speaking of blessing people, you do with your chaplaincy, I know, and you have your own ministry. Let's talk a little bit about that, what your plans are for your ministry. Tell us about that.
That's great. My new ministry is called One Nation Under God. American heritage from the pulpit.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is going to different churches and speaking about the book, but about our country, is how it was founded under Christian principles,
Right.
what has happened to it. Pretty much what I'm doing is what we've done today.
Right.
Has gone through this.
Okay. Good.
And telling people what it is about, telling people we have got to get back to God in this country.
Okay.
And my ultimate goal in this is to bring about or be part of the third Great Awakening.
Yes.
That is my ultimate
Yes.
goal.
Yes.
And the only way I can do this is I can go to various churches. I would go to church, field to field, wherever people can gather to hear the truth. And that's my passion right now. The Lord has led me to this. And once I started it, for a while, last couple of years, I've had this question mark. I'm doing things, I knew the Lord was leading me somewhere,
Right. Right.
but I've had this question. And I was talking to a friend yesterday about this, and she was observing how I'm speaking about different things. She says, Leon, she said, that question mark has been removed.
Yes.
She says,
Yes.
you know the direction.
Yes.
And I do. I know where the Lord is leading me.
Yes.
And He's leading me to this revival. And I can only accomplish that through the churches.
Right.
So I need their support.
Sure.
And so,
Well, what a blessing you've been to do all this research. I know that we were talking during the break, and your wife Sandy was saying that she's run into accomplished pastors who say, "Boy, I wish when I was in seminary that this book was available," because it takes a lot of research to substantiate the claims, which you do an excellent job of doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell me more about your chaplaincy and what you do as a chaplain.
okay.
I think people are fascinated by the
Yeah.
whole idea of chaplaincy because it's volunteer.
correct.
It's just like circuit riders in a way,
That's exactly what it is.
and I'm a chaplain myself through Media Fellowship
Yeah.
International, so it's a big part of my life.
Yeah.
But share with people what a chaplain is all about.
Okay, basically a chaplain is what we call boots on the ground
Yeah.
for spiritual needs. They're the spiritual first responders to
Yeah.
any situation. Our chaplaincy is partnered with the Sheriff's Department and Metro.
Yeah.
And we have ride-along people. And I just love Sheriff Lombardo because he was asked, why do you want the chaplains along with you? He said, because I want God in the car with my officers.
Wow.
That comes from the sheriff.
Well, there it is, government again, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we're heavily involved with them and also with the prison industry. And what I do, part of it is I teach at Casa Grande, teach Bible study at Casa Grande, which is a prison reentry system.
Oh, okay.
And so I go out there once a month and teach them.
Yeah.
And through the chaplaincy.
Wow.
And there's other areas that anybody who wants to become a chaplain, you can get in touch with me on my website, but I'll tell you later. And we need the help. There's more people are needed to help others
Yeah.
on the spiritual level. So it's just kind of,
Yeah. Well, let's give them the website now, Leon.
okay.
Tell them the website and how they can get in touch with you, not only about the chaplaincy, but about buying the book and inviting you to come and speak at their church or their organization. Go ahead and tell folks.
Yeah, the website is www.onenationundergodministries, that's plural, .com. And there you have all of the contact information for me personally, for the ministry itself, how you can invite me, how you can become a chaplain. Just contact me on that, and I can get you proper information.
That's great. You mentioned, and I don't even know whether you know how much of a gift this is to know that the Lord that you're on the right track, that the Lord has set you on, because that is so difficult to discern. But the Lord has made that clear to you, what you're supposed to do with your remaining days, right?
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how important is it for people to contact you and get you into their churches and get you into their schools? A lot of people don't know, and they're afraid to speak in public schools about God. But what they don't know is you are allowed to come in and talk about God. right?
That's absolutely.
You know, you could go in and talk to an assembly. You could go in and talk in a classroom. You're teaching American history.
That's right.
Right? And they're asking you questions.
Right.
And when the student asks a question, right? Well, why did you do this?
Yeah.
Then you can give your witness, right?
Oh, absolutely. Because what I see in the schools today is it's not really education, it's indoctrination.
Wow.
So what we have to do is get back to the basics of Christianity.
Yeah.
We were founded under one nation under God.
Yes.
And the ethics and principles of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
We have got to get back to the kids have got to know. And I believe I've been led to teach them, again, to teach them what is right, to teach everybody, not just the children, the parents as well.
Amen.
And the grandparents.
Amen. Amen.
You know, this hits across the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, all America is in need of the Word. And the Lord has put me on a path to see that that is accomplished in some form.
Oh, that's great. You know, and America is a shining city on a hill, right? As President Reagan said, quoting
Absolutely.
the Bible.
Exactly.
And we are an excellent example to the world. And this show goes out all over the world.
Oh, praise God.
Through the internet and through other sources. And don't you think that as an American nation founded in Christianity and living in the faith is a shining example to the world?
Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
Because the Bible says, you know, you got the candle should not be put under a bushel.
Right.
Well, we have put that candle under a bushel.
Yeah.
Now is the time to take that bushel off and let that candle shine.
Yes.
So
Amen.
we need to go out and show the world who we are.
Oh, yeah.
Because without the Lord, we're nothing.
Yes.
And we need Him to accomplish what needs to be done between now and the second coming.
That's right.
So.
And Matthew 28:19 will tell you exactly what you're supposed to do and what you're doing and what you're living. And thank you for doing it.
It's all God.
God bless
It's all
you.
God.
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
coming on the show.
My
We appreciate
pleasure.
it.
My
Please
pleasure.
come back and tell us about how things are going with your ministry and how they're accepting you out there. And
I will do that, most definitely.
Okay, sounds great. Thank
Very
you for
good.
coming.
Thank you.
Leon G. Stevens, who is the author of One Nation Under God. So please, won't you buy it? God bless you all. And as I close every show, please walk with Him. Hello, I'm Dale Davidson. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Las Vegas Tonight. Allow me to take just a few moments to let you know how you can learn more about some of the fascinating guests that I've interviewed. My new book, Las Vegas Tonight, From Sin City to Vegas Saints, is now available around the world. In it, I profile amazing people who make Las Vegas something much more than just a place to party. These compelling stories often tell of people who came to Las Vegas for reasons much different than the innovative ministries they ended up leading right here in Sin City. Take, for example, Tommy Scott, known as Hitman to his fellow members of an infamous gang in South Central Los Angeles. Tommy was serving time in a Las Vegas jail and contemplating suicide when a couple of pastors visited him in the lockup and led him to Christ. Tommy immediately began studying the Word and has become an on-fire evangelist and Christian author. Then there's Annie Meadows. Annie began life in a rural part of Kentucky, increasingly was fascinated with the occult, and eventually became a full-fledged witch. Rejecting anything having to do with God, she angrily vowed never to attend church or have anything at all to do with religion. Then, like Tommy, she had an encounter with the living Christ and now travels the world as a gospel singer and writes Christian children's books. Pastor Chris Chappell was an avowed atheist who also wanted nothing to do with the Lord. He was a successful businessman who felt he surely didn't need Jesus. His wife and father-in-law convinced him to attend church, and he felt a stirring that made him investigate the Bible's claims. Telling the Lord that he needed answers to his objections, he found those answers in a supernatural way and is now leading a remarkable church, Casa de Luz, in what's called the Naked City, which is a neighborhood just off the famous Las Vegas Strip. This formerly crime-ridden area is now experiencing a remarkable turnaround, and his church is serving that community in amazing ways. Doc Jones traveled to Las Vegas from New York on a personal mission to make as much money as he could. A born entrepreneur, he started a photography business that specialized in taking pictures of groups of partiers at the hot nightclubs on the Strip. He then learned that by referring young guys to the city's strip clubs, he could pick up lots of cash from the club's owners. That evolved into sending young women who were wannabe strippers to these so-called gentlemen's clubs, and then he managed their careers. Eventually, he felt so empty and despondent that he too thought seriously of suicide. Hearing a sermon about the prodigal son caused him to dedicate his life to Christ. Now an exceptional musician and composer of gospel rap, hip-hop, and spoken word genres, he is helping change Las Vegas from a place where sin abounds to a city where grace abounds more. Pastor Clegg Seth was an aspiring actor and screenwriter in Hollywood and a strong Christian who wanted to make a real difference for Christ in the entertainment world. But the Lord called him to establish a crisis hotline for runaway teens who were coming to Hollywood to pursue their silver screen dreams. He then started halfway houses for men and women with substance abuse and other problems. He also helped set up a similar men's home in Las Vegas. At one point, he developed a gambling habit, but the Lord delivered him from that problem, and he now devotes his life to sharing Christ with men in prison, serving seniors in a church setting, along with visits to nursing homes and hospitals. He has continued his quest to influence Hollywood through a ministry called the Christian Studio. I personally really look up to Clegg Seth as a model of how a Christian should live and serve others. He truly is one of the Vegas saints. Read these stories and more in this 226-page book, Las Vegas Tonight, From Sin City to Vegas Saints. You can get your copy in several different ways. Go to my website, vegassaints.org, or order it on Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. It's just $15.99 plus shipping. For more information or to make a donation to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries that will help us keep this program on the air, please call 702-480-3989. Or you can write to us at Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara, Suite 255, Las Vegas, Nevada 89117. And thank you so much for watching Las Vegas Tonight.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight with Dale Davidson. Send your tax-deductible gifts to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. Or call 702-480-3989. Thanks for watching.